Hello everyone, this is Toshi the Panda coming back to you with a big celebratory thing. This is my 1.5k subscriber special. Let's take a moment to just appreciate you guys for everything you've done. Thanks a lot for the subscribers. Sorry that I couldn't get out my 1,000 subscriber special, but hey, this one will totally make up for it. I'm just really happy that I've hit this milestone. But yeah, this is really awesome, really great. And now that I'm here, I've decided to do a little something special for this special. Yeah, redundancy there, but yeah. What exactly is that I'm doing? Well...
Good. I just need someone to talk to about something.
What's going on?
I don't know what to do. Pinkie Pie.
Season 2 of Helluva Boss has been a bit of a trip for me. Actually, this whole series has been a bit of a trip for me. So I decided to dedicate my 1.5k subscriber special to a full retrospective of Helluva Boss Season 2. More specifically, I also want to talk about that big reveal bomb drop at the end of the finale. Yeah, so first off, my overall thoughts on Helluva Boss as a whole. It's a good show. I don't like it nearly as much as Has Been Hotel, but it's still pretty good. Vibsy Pop has her problems, but I'll admit I do like her shows. Despite their flaws, I do like them. And Helluva Boss, I've been following a lot more considering, well, Has Been Hotel took forever to come out, so I've been just watching Helluva Boss in the meantime. But yeah, Season 1 of Helluva Boss was actually pretty good. I liked it all the way through. Even its weaker episodes, I actually found something to really like about them. Season 2, however, I'm mixed on it. There are some episodes I legitimately really like Oops and the one episode with a really long name featuring Mammon that I can't remember at the moment. Then there are episodes that I don't like that much, like Seeing Stars and Circus. They were fine, but they had problems. And then there are episodes I just absolutely loathe, like really did not like at all. Like Western Energy, I had a lot of problems with that episode. And even X's and O's, I kind of liked that one, but even then, I really had a lot of problems with it. But yeah, Season 2 has been a mixed bag for me. And I really want to talk about the way it ended. More specifically, the biggest bomb that was dropped at the end of the finale. Now I know you probably expected me to talk about everything else that happened, like the whole thing involving Blitz and Stolas, maybe the thing with Octavia, and Jolfus's really stupid plan that wouldn't have worked in any logical sense. But no, what I actually want to talk about is the whole thing with Millie being pregnant, because I don't hate this idea, but I understand why other people don't like it. You see, I've only seen one actual commentary video on Helluva Boss Season 2 where someone brought up the whole issue about Millie being revealed to be pregnant. Now, I'm gonna say right here, I called it. I called it like some time ago. I thought, you know, if there was one thing I knew Vibsy Pop was gonna do, is at some point they were gonna give Millie and Moxie a kid. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I knew it was gonna happen. And then throughout episode 12, I was seeing hints of it. Like, the whole thing where she threw up and said it was the cold, I was like, no, cold doesn't make you barf. Like, what? And then out of nowhere, she gets super pissed off at Blitz for not going along with the job, because obviously he didn't want to kill the two gay parents and the kids, because it reminded him of what he could have had with Stolas and his daughter. So I'm thinking, what the heck is going on with Millie? First the puking, then the out of nowhere anger that's even uncharacteristic for her. Then I saw the scene with her in the bathroom, with her pushing the box into the trash can, and I'm like, no, they're not. They're really not. And then the part where she calls her sister, pulls out the pregnancy test, I was like, no way, really? But not in a shocked, oh, I didn't see the twist coming way. It was more like, I knew you were gonna do it, but I didn't think you were gonna do it like now, like at this point in time. Because I was thinking that was gonna be a Season 3 thing. I didn't think they were gonna pull it here in Season 2, but they did. And well, the video I brought up before that I saw where someone said that they didn't like the idea, they brought up things like, oh, it just reduces Millie's character even more because she's like the one character who hasn't had much development. And I agree with that. Out of all the characters much development. We've gotten development for Blitz, Stolas, Moxie, even Luna, Octavia, but we haven't gotten much for Millie. All we get most of is she's a farm girl from the Wrath Ring, she's probably insecure about herself, all that stuff. She loves Moxie. Yeah, that's the most we get in terms of character development for her. So when they brought up the bombshell of her being pregnant, the person in this video I saw was like, come on, that just reduces her character even more. It's like, you went like the easiest route for trying to give a woman the character development by making her pregnant. It's the most cliche thing ever. And while I agree, I disagree as well. Agree to disagree if you want to call it that. This whole video is going to be just about me talking about that. This whole thing. And why I think it's actually not that bad of an idea. Shot in the dark, if you knew me in real life, I'm a sucker for pregnancy stories. It's just, there's always something interesting about it. To me, a story about someone getting pregnant and having a baby, coming to terms with becoming a parent, is a lot more interesting than a romantic subplot. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of romance. It's not my favorite genre. So romantic stories don't really interest me all that much. Now, you move past that, and you have a story about someone becoming pregnant and going to be a parent, having a baby. Everything that comes with that, the responsibilities, the fears, the anxiety, the trouble, everything that comes with that. It's so much more interesting to talk about. And that's why I think this is actually a good thing for Millie's character, because it opens up more possibilities. Like, going off the tracks here, I actually did write a Helluva Boss fanfic about Millie getting pregnant long before the second half of season 2 dropped. Like, I wrote this towards the beginning of season 2, like right after I saw the 3rd episode. Not immediately after, but sometime after that. But I wrote a fanfic about her getting pregnant. It's short, it's only 2 chapters because it's you could, if it was a real episode, it'd probably be a double-parter, but still. Anyway, it's interesting to me that they would go this route, that Vivziepop would take this route, because it does actually it can actually help develop Millie's character. What do I mean by that? I feel like throughout the whole show, Millie has been presented as this strong-willed, confident character who can hold her own in any situation. I mean, we've seen her do it before in season 1 and 2. She can fight very well, she's great with weapons, she knows how to hold her own, she's pretty tough and resilient, like nothing can take her down. So this is actually a good way to humble her a little bit, because my most problem with Millie is that I think she's a little too strong-willed, she's a little too confident, she's too... I don't want to call her perfect, I don't want to say she's a Mary Sue, because she's not, even she has her own flaws. It's just that they're not really emphasized enough. The focus isn't put on her, which is why she doesn't have much character development. She has flaws, there's room for development there, but she's not given enough screen time. The thing with her being pregnant could actually help give her more screen time, more character development, because now this strong-willed, confident character who's always on top of her game, who's always, really assured of herself in what she can do, she's now hit with the big reality that she's gonna be a mother. She's gonna have a baby. This is a big thing. And it's big for her considering the job she has. She works as an assassin. It's not a safe job. It's not an easy job. And considering everything that's happened, IMP has made a lot of enemies. The biggest one of them being Moxie's own father, Crimson. Because now, they have an even bigger target on their back. Because given how X's and O's ended, as rocky as that episode was, given how it ended, and it's safe to say that Crimson has a bit of a grudge now against IMP. I mean, we saw him come back in Oops, but that was more focused on Blitz and Fizzaroli, so we didn't get much with him. But with this big bombshell that Millie is pregnant, that Moxie is going to be a father, this now puts a heavy target on IMP's back, because Crimson not only has both his own son, his son's wife, and their boss to go after for basically screwing him over, making a fool of him, but now he's gonna be a grandfather. They're having a child, and that will make Crimson see the perfect opportunity to not only get revenge, but also possibly to have an heir to his whole mafia thing. Because how crazy would it be if after the baby's born, Crimson finds out about it and then plots to kidnap the baby in order to twist them and mold them into his perfect little mini-me to turn against Moxie and Millie? How crazy would that be? In fact, what if before What if he doesn't even wait for the baby to be born? What if he kidnaps Millie while she's pregnant? In fact, why not kidnap her when she's in the most vulnerable state, when she's heavily pregnant, can't fight back, can't defend herself, can't do anything? It actually would be a big stick to her, considering that she was the one who decimated all of Crimson's forces back in that episode. It would give him be like the perfect payback. I could just imagine him like having her tied up in like a basement or something. She's sitting there with her huge belly, can't move, can't go anywhere, and he just looks at her with a smug grin saying, not so tough now, are ya? Now I've got you right where I want you, and if Moxie wants you safe and sound, well then he's gonna have to do everything I tell him to do. You know, something like that. It could actually be a good thing. Because now Millie is the one who's in danger. Now Millie is the one who needs help. Because all the time it seems like Moxie's always the one who's the damsel in distress. Moxie's the one who needs to get saved. And that's actually one thing I hated about that episode. How Moxie finally got the guts to stand up to his father, only to get knocked out and had to be saved by Millie at the end. No, it's ridiculous. Moxie himself has also proved that he's very capable of holding his own in a fight. He can handle himself at some times. I know other times he does need Millie's help, like in Spring Broken when he was like heavily drunk and got eaten by the giant demon fish. Okay, that part I get, because he's drunk, he doesn't know what's going on, he's out of his mind. Of course he needs Millie to help him. But at that point when he was standing up to his father, he was more than capable of like probably anticipating his father's move. Maybe he could have gotten out of the way of being tased. Maybe he could have pulled out a gun. Like, I know he has one on him to threaten his father. He could have done that. But no, he gets kidnapped and Millie has to save him. And it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So I figured if Millie is pregnant, this actually makes her more vulnerable. And if she does get kidnapped by Crimson with the expressive plan of taking her baby from her and twisting them into a little devious little thing to turn against his own parents, then this would actually be perfect for Moxie too, because now he has to stand up to his father. Finally has to stand up to Crimson and tell him what for, because now he has two things he has to protect: his wife and his son/daughter. He needs to protect them. And this could actually help Millie some more too, because now it actually puts more focus on her as a person. Maybe we can learn more about her. Because being a parent is not an easy thing. It's hard. It's really hard. That's why I kind of decided that I'm not going to be one myself. I know for a fact I'm not capable of doing that. In Millie's case, this is a big thing for her, because through this pregnancy, we can learn more about her home life, how she was growing up with her family. Because we only got hints and sprinkles of it here and there, especially the conversation she was having with Moxie and unhappy campers. But just think, with her having this baby, we can get more insight into Millie as a character, what her home life was like, how her relationship with her own mother was like, because we only got a small bit of that in the Harvest Moon Festival, with how her parents were talking to her and how they were getting like mad at her that Stryker got the drop on her and got her hurt and stuff, only for Moxie to stand up for her because, you know, Stryker was an obvious psychopath. But that's an interesting thing right there. With Millie being pregnant, if her family finds out and they want to like talk to her, give her advice and stuff like that, we can actually get more of an insight into her relationship with her own parents and have that be reflected on the way she takes care of this baby. But here's a double-edged sword with that. The way Millie reacted and the fact that she didn't say anything to Moxie after going back into Blitz's apartment after that, it leads me to think that she probably isn't going to tell him about this, that she probably doesn't want to keep the baby. And that in and of itself is a problem for me, because like I said, I'm a sucker for pregnancy stories. They're really interesting to talk about. What I don't like in some pregnancy stories is how they completely just gloss over important things like this. It kind of diminishes Millie's character if she's gonna keep this as a secret from Moxie, because Millie and Moxie have a pretty healthy relationship, all things go. They have shown their disagreements, but for the most part, they have a healthy relationship. They love each other, they work together, they fight together, they protect each other. So I don't understand why Millie wouldn't want to tell Moxie that she's pregnant, because I feel like Moxie would be over the moon if he found out about that. I can imagine him like having a dad freak out moment and being like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a dad, oh my god, ah! That kind of thing. But she doesn't tell him. and she seems upset about it. I mean, granted, if you suddenly found out you were pregnant too, it would probably be a big shocker to you. But I don't like that she's keeping it a secret from him. And it gives off the rather morbid implication that either she's going to give the baby up when it's born, or worse, she's going to have it aborted. Now, keep in mind, I don't have a problem with abortion in real life. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. It's your body, your choice. I'm saying that that's not a right choice for Millie's character, because there is no reason at all why she wouldn't tell Moxie about this. She can trust Moxie. He's her husband. He would probably be happy. And if she has reservations about the whole thing, he could probably sit down and talk to her about it. Heck, she could talk to Blitz about it too. She has other friends she could speak to about this. She was willing to call her sister about it, but we didn't get to see the rest of that phone conversation. We don't know what it is she talked about with Sally Mae and what her decision was. We don't know what she's gonna do with it. And we probably won't know until season 3. But I hope that Vivzie Pop doesn't write her either giving the baby up for adoption or aborting it. And especially, I hope she doesn't have Millie do all that without telling Moxie. Like, if she talked to Moxie first and then came to the agreement that she didn't want the baby, then that'd be fine. It'd be fine. Like, that would actually be a perfect dramatic moment. Like, if she had a rather heated conversation with Moxie saying, I don't want this baby, I can't handle this, I can't do this, I'm sorry. Then we could have Moxie being like, but he could be like mad at her for a little bit, but then go off, cool down, come back and be like, okay, Millie, I understand. I took some time to think about it and I'm not happy about it, but you're my wife and I understand and I love you and I want to make sure you're comfortable. So if you don't want to keep this pregnancy or if you don't want to keep the baby when it's born, then that's fine. We'll handle it when we get there. That's what I want to happen. That is what I want to happen. I don't want Millie doing that behind Moxie's back, because I've seen like 1 or 2 stories where that kind of thing happens, where the woman doesn't want the baby, but she doesn't tell her significant other about it. She either aborts it behind the significant other's back or has it and then gets rid of it. Granted, in those cases, the baby was conceived through an affair, like infidelity. But even so, I know that this baby is actually Moxie's baby. That I know for sure. Millie would not be unfaithful. The thing is that she probably just doesn't want the baby. But I hope she doesn't get rid of it without telling Moxie, because that would be a huge low blow, and I wouldn't like it, because I'm already pretty upset that Millie doesn't get enough character development. I would be even more upset if Vivzie Pop went the way of having her toss the baby out or abort it without telling Moxie first, because that's horrible. That's a horrible thing to do, and it's totally out of Millie's character, because she should be able to trust Moxie enough to know that he could handle this, that he could handle the truth. I want her to have Millie tell Moxie about this, to sit him down and maybe sit down with also Blitz and Luna and tell all of them, hey, I'm pregnant now, what are we gonna do about it? Because this is an important milestone for the whole entire show. This is really important. It's the one thing that really stuck out to me in the finale. I mean, I know the thing with Stolitz and Octavia and the thing with Andropis is a big deal, but this is the thing that stuck out to me the most, because like I said, I like pregnancy stories. They're really interesting to write about and read about or watch, and they actually, having it in an established show with established characters means that this could do a lot to change, the dynamic of the characters. I know, granted, in some shows when you add a baby to the cast, it doesn't really change much because babies are seen as plot devices. You can't really do much with them, outside of just having them either not act like babies, like in the Rugrats or Maggie from The Simpsons when she shot Mr. Burns, or just have them make gross out jokes with barfing, pooping, spitting up, the kind of things babies do. But Helluva Boss is an adult show. I think they could do more with the baby character aside from that. Yeah, maybe they will make it act not like a baby and have it do like wild things. I mean, it would be funny to see little baby Moxie or Millie Jr. just shooting somebody with a gun. That would actually be really hilarious. But I feel like they could do more with it. A lot more with it, especially considering all the things I brought up, like how this puts a bigger target on IMP's back, how it changes the whole dynamic of Millie and Moxie's relationship, how it could add more to Millie's character. I feel like they could do a lot more with it, and I hope Vivzie Pop sticks the landing, because this is a really big thing. It really is. And to me, it's the most important thing. It might not be to other people, Like, there was a lot of other things going on in the season 2 finale that were way more important, and I can understand that. If you don't see this whole Millie being pregnant thing as the most important thing in the finale, that's cool. I get you. It's just what stuck out to me personally. It's what I thought was the most important, and it's what I think and hope that Vivzy Pop will touch on more when we actually get to season 3. So I'm actually looking forward to season 3. I know at this point a lot of people are giving up on Helluva Boss because of the way the season ended and how it's been going and all the stuff going on with Vivzy Pop that's been going on social media, which I don't know too much about because I don't have Twitter. Thank God, I never will. But I'm still a committed fan. I still enjoy the show for what it is. And I don't have too high expectations about it because I don't have too high expectations with anything I watch, really. I go into stuff with low expectations. I expect an A or a B. And no, actually, I got that backwards. I expect a C, and I'd be pleasantly surprised if I get an A or a B. Every episode of Helluva Boss has been in that range. I've got some A's, I got some B's, some C's, and maybe 1 or 2 D's here and there. But for the most part, it's been in the B range, maybe in the C. None of the episodes were completely unsalvageable to me. They just didn't hit their mark in some places, and in other places they were pretty good. So I'm hoping when season 3 comes, we really stick the landing and we get good episodes, like not all the way through, but like maybe start off strong. Like, because Circus was a pretty weak start to season 2. So I'm hoping when season 3 starts, it starts out strong. And I hope that when we get to the whole Millie pregnancy thing, that Vivzy Pop handles it with a lot of care, a lot of tact, a lot of maturity, because this is a really serious subject. Bringing up the whole thing of pregnancy, parenthood, possibly abortion, putting up the kid for adoption, that kind of thing. I hope the crew handles it with a lot of tact and maturity, because even if this is an adult show, that's really important and you need to get it right, because if you mess it up, that's a really big thing. So I'm really hoping that Vivzy Pop sticks the landing and doesn't mess it up. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for the 1.5k subscribers. This was really great, and I'm glad to have made this milestone. What am I gonna do next? Well, when I hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a complete retrospective about becoming a YouTuber. I'm gonna let you know how I got to this point, everything that led up to it, who I am on the internet and all that stuff. When I reach 10,000 subscribers, I'll tell you guys how I became both a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog and a fan of My Little Pony, because the rabbit hole of both of those goes pretty deep, and it would take an entire video to talk about it, and that would be really special. So I don't want to make it just a run-of-the-mill video. That's gonna be my 10,000 subscriber special. When I reach 100,000 subscribers, I don't know. I'm thinking about that one. I have to think. I don't know what'll happen if I reach 100,000 subscribers, or 500,000 subscribers either. I don't know. Because again, I do YouTube as a hobby, not a career, so I don't know what I'm gonna do then. If I'm lucky enough to reach 1 million subscribers, because that'll be amazing. If I ever at any point in my life reach 1 million subscribers, I'll do a face reveal. Yeah, I'll show you guys who I really am behind the screen. But until then, thanks for the 1.5k subscribers. You guys are awesome, and look forward to whatever new videos I bring in the future. So this is Toshi the Panda signing out. See you guys next time, and don't forget to wash your hands.